Hey, okay. All right, daily here. It's Jocelyn. It's Friday. If you're new here, welcome. I am a goal leader within doTERRA. I love showing you guys these little health habits, in hopes of kind of just inspiring some of you to think twice about the little things and maybe make some simple shifts into a more I don't know, just a greater level of awareness, if anything. Okay, so today's topic is Meatless Mondays. I will say that I am vegetarian and I have been for over half of my life. So it's not something that people generally know about me because I tend to keep it on the down low. Personally, I just hate labeling and I hate people making assumptions about what I can and cannot eat. I did the whole vegan thing for a few years. I'd say the most annoying part of that was when people would say, oh, but you can't eat that. And when in reality, I have no dietary restrictions connected to health concerns at all. The proper wording would definitely be that I choose not to eat that. Okay, so for today's topic, I encourage you to try to eat meatless one day a week next week. So, open the old Pinterest account, do a quick search of vegetarian recipes. You'll be super surprised at what you'll find. So veggie food is most of the time easier to digest. Plant-based and fresh produce, even things like sprouts and legumes, are literally like pure energy and nutrients. Okay, you were like literally eating life. Okay, after you finish a meal, you should feel more energized than before you ate, not more tired. More tired means that your body's kind of working in overtime and struggling to digest most of the time. Other clues that we might not be eating right foods for our body is bloating, indigestion, constipation, whatever. And you also probably have heard the saying, we are what we eat. So that's right to some extent, but in reality, we want to be thinking that we are what we absorb. Okay, so we are what we break down and actually absorb into our body. So if we're eating, foods that are hard to break down, or we know our bodies are not awesome at breaking them down, or we're eating all this awesome food but our body isn't exactly breaking them down properly, then we aren't really getting the full benefit of all the nutrients and things like that. So personally, I love food enzymes. The ones I take are from doTERRA. They're great to take with a meal if it has been cooked at all. So even fresh produce can be a little bit hard to break down sometimes. So harder on the digestive system, but everyone's totally different. So just for a second, I did a little bit of research on the effects of eating meat, and here's kind of what I found. So again, do your own research, because some of you that are meat eaters watching this are probably like, well, you're super duper biased because you're vegetarian. So that's okay. Just do your own research and take it as you like. But anyway, there was some interesting stuff. So first of all, it takes an enormous amount of water to grow crops for animals to eat. Clean, factory farms, and give animals water to drink. Okay, there's a lot of water to do that. So a single cow used for milk can drink up to 50 gallons of water per day, or twice that amount in hot weather. And it takes 683 gallons of water to produce 1 gallon of milk. That's mind blown, right? It takes more than 2,400 gallons of water to produce 1 pound of beef. I don't know. This is all from my Google search, right? Well, producing 1 pound of tofu only requires 244 gallons of water. By going vegan, one person can save approximately 219,000 gallons of water a year. That's insane. Okay, so animals raised for food in the U.S. produce many times more excrement than does the entire human population of the country. According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, animals in the U.S. factory farms produce about 500 million tons of manure each year. With no animal sewage processing plants, it's often stored as waste in lagoons, which is really nasty, or it gets sprayed over the fields. Okay, so runoff from the factory farms and livestock grazing is one of the leading causes of pollution in our rivers and lakes. The EPA notes that bacteria and viruses can be carried by the runoff, and that the groundwater can be contaminated. Factory farms frequently dodge water pollution limits by spraying liquid manure into the air, creating mists that are carried away by the wind. People who live nearby are forced to inhale the toxins and pathogens from the sprayed manure. It's so crazy. So this study and report done by the California State Senate noted that studies have shown that animal waste lagoons emit toxic airborne chemicals that can cause inflammatory immune irritation and neurochemical problems in humans. It's crazy. Okay, so a couple other things. Land use. Using land to grow crops for animals is like super duper inefficient. It takes about 20 times less land to feed someone on a plant-based vegan diet than it does to feed a meat eater, since the crops are consumed directly instead of being used to feed the animals. That's nuts. It takes about 10 pounds of grain to produce 1 pound of meat. And in the States alone, 56 million acres of land are used to grow feed for animals, while only 4 million acres are producing plants for humans to eat. 56 comparing to 4, that's massive. So more than 90% of all Amazon rainforest land cleared since 1970 was used for grazing livestock. In addition to one of the main crops grown in the rainforest is soybeans, used for animal feed. The soybean used in most veggie burgers, tofu, and soy milk products sold in the U.S. are grown right here in the U.S. And then fish. So I know a lot of people that are like, oh, I'm vegetarian, but I eat fish. Again, each to your own. I'm just sharing what I found. It was kind of just a little bit of an eye-opener kind of thing. So while factory farms are ruining our land, according to this website, commercial fishing methods such as bottom trawling and long lining often clear the ocean floor of all life and destroy coral reefs. They kill thousands of dolphins, sea turtles, sharks, and other bycatch animals. Coastal fish farms release feces and antibiotics and all this stuff into the ecosystems. It's crazy. So, for example, it takes up to 3 pounds of fish meal to produce every pound of farmed salmon. So, moral of the story is, like, if you're going to eat meat, like, I definitely suggest, doing your own research and things like that, but it's always best to support local, small scale as much as we can. I personally, like I said, vegetarian. We eat mainly vegan in our house. We make our own almond milks and coconut milks, but we do eat cheese and local eggs, okay? So I feel like we're not striving for perfection, we're striving for progress, okay? When we talk about ingesting dairy, that's a whole other topic, but I think we can kind of all agree that it's really weird. It's like weird as hell that we take milk from another mother and drink it for our benefit, okay? I know that I used to live on a farm in New Zealand and I had 6 milking cows. We milked by hand and it was gross, to say the least, okay? Like, real gross. If you can think of, like, worst case scenario, it's gross. So when we think about commercial milking facilities, like, I don't even want to think about the poor cows being milked by, like, dry in a matter of minutes by these machines, right? And, like, the injury that happens, like, inevitably because, all the things. But anyway, and that's, yes, why they pasteurize milk, and each to their own. Just, I encourage you to do a little research. But anyway, thank you for watching. I hope that was a little bit not too intense, but just a little bit of an eye-opener as to, like, how beneficial it could be to just eat vegetarian 1 day a week at least. Try with one, try next week and see how you go. There's so many awesome recipes out there that are super simple and actually a little bit more creative and fun than other recipes. But anyway, I have an announcement, you guys. So on Monday, I start green cleaning week over on my brand page, Bergamo and Balance. Okay, I'll be live Monday to Friday next week for a green cleaning DIY each day. And I'll be posting the ingredients list over on my brand page as well on Instagram and Facebook Sunday night. For those of you wanting to make along with me, it's going to be super fun. I'm going to show you how to swap out all your household cleaners with simple DIYs. Okay, the replays will be stored on Facebook, over on the brand page, and also on my YouTube channel. Okay, so again, that's at Bergamo. I'll spell it for you because Bergamo is not very, what was I going to say? Yeah, it's not very common, I guess. So Bergamo is Bergamot and Balance on Instagram and Facebook, and then I will upload to YouTube as well. Okay, so hopefully see you on Bergamo and Balance for Monday for green cleaning, and then I'll be back for number 25 of the Daily Health Habits Challenge right here as well, because I promised you guys some yoga, and I'm going to show you how to make some nut milks and a few other fun things over there. Okay, thanks for watching, you guys. Again, share and comment, and yeah, I'll see you Monday. Have a good weekend.